Today we will be learning a traditional Irish slip jig. And a slip jig is in 9/8 time signature, but we count to 3. So a good warm up for this is to kind of accent each third beat. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be your slip jig. So it's just a little bit of an emphasis on those 3 big beats. Now this tune is in the key of G, although it's played, I've heard it played in at least 3 different keys, but we'll be going into another tune, and I think this key works a little bit better with that tune. So I'm going to teach it the most basic way first, which you can actually do it with no slurs, and then I can show you little ways to start to embellish that. So one more thing to note before we get going is the first part, the phrases are kind of in 2 measures, so they're longer phrases. And then the second part goes back to kind of your traditional slip jig. At least it seems like more often than not, they're kind of in phrases of just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the first part, the phrases are kind of longer before you get that big feeling of 1, which is one of the reasons I really like this tune. So let me just play it once through this really basic way, and then we'll learn it. So 1, 2, 3. The first phrase starts on the B, goes down to the G. So repeat after me. Go. So because we're dealing with groups of 9 here, it's okay that the second measure is going to start up bow as long as we have kind of a little bit of a stronger pulse on the 1. So again, that first phrase. Go. Now the second phrase, starting on that up bow, on an open D. Again. So let's put those 2 together. And to me, that sounds like one complete phrase. So here's the first 2 measures, and let's do that again. And the next 2 big phrases start the same way, but end a little bit differently. So the first phrase is the same, but now we've got a slightly different ending. Again, that ending. So let's put that last big phrase together. Ready, go. So let's try that whole first part, and so think about it, just 2 big phrases, and then we'll repeat both of those phrases, and that's your A. All right, here we go. 1, 2, go. on to the second part. Let me just play the whole second part so you can hear how it kind of flows, and then we'll break it down. So we get a little bit of repeated material in that ending. So we're starting on A string on B. So the first measure. Ready, go. So to me that sounds a little bit more like its own little phrase. And then the second phrase starts on that B again, but will be up bow. So we go. Try that with me. And then, as a lot of tunes do, we're going to repeat that first phrase again after that. So far we've got like phrase 1, 2, and then 1 again. In the second part, let's try putting those together. Ready, go. Phrase 2. Phrase 1 again. And here's our ending on an up bow. Try that. So that's the whole B part. And the second time through the B part, it's kind of written in, there's this little bit of a variation on, it'll be that first phrase the second time it comes back. But let's play that whole B section one more time before I show you where that is. Ready, go. Now, here we are on the second B. Here's our first phrase. It's on the second. The second phrase is where the variation is. So we start up bow. So I'm going up to a G there. So instead of, we just change the E to a G. So that second phrase, only the second time through the B part is. The rest of it's the same. Here's your first phrase. And then the ending. So let's do that whole B part the first time through, no variation, and the second time with. And then let's actually go through and play the whole tune after that. All right, 1, 2, go. Here comes the variation. even with that kind of basic, no fancy things going on, you can get it to sound really decent if you have kind of that right feel with the bow. So with a little speed, and if you're doing that, you can get it to sound pretty traditional, I think. But there's two little things that you can add to make it even better. I put a couple of them in on accident earlier, but sliding, and for this one it works really well on the first finger. And with those we want them to be pretty fast, so just a little bit before the note hits. We've got a lot of B's in the second part, so that works there too. So definitely a less is more kind of situation as far as how much slide. The other thing is slurring a down bow into the phrases sometimes with a pickup note. Sounds confusing, but let me show you what I mean. So a lot of times we have like that long note, da 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 da. So if I kind of cut off a little bit and add the A as a pickup note on the down bow with the slide, that adds a lot. So let me show you what I mean there. That's a good place to start. I'll show you more later.